Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. It is March 16th, 2026, and I'm back with some messages. Now I understand a little bit more about this competition. So we organic, original human beings are very, very sensitive, empathic transmitter receivers of the upper realm. So we came here to receive the messagings and then manifest that into the world. Now we've got some universal pirates here that have been feeding on souls, using our souls and our energy system, our chakra system as batteries to fuel their own existence. And they feel that because we are malleable, because our consciousness can be formed by an outside force or influenced by and then driven into either a failure or a success, that means that we don't have proper control over our own consciousness and our activities in the world, and therefore we are susceptible to outside influences, meaning destruction. Therefore we do not have the capacity to manage ourselves well in that environment, in that wartime environment of manipulators coming to what? Hijack the realm, hijack the universe, hijack the tribe, the clan, the community, whatever. As malleable, original, organic transmitter receivers of the divine messaging system, we are malleable. It is how we evolve through challenges and circumstances that arise. Now we have been in a trap, a loop of these ones projecting failure and this sabotage upon us, and then forcing us to carry the shame and the blame of this sabotage and forced driven failure. The thing about this is that this has been going on for several thousands of years, and we have evolved through the pain, the trauma, the torture, and the insistence and the programming that we are sinners and that we're not worthy of upper dimensional spaces and places. It's a complete lie generated by beings that have augmented with AI in a lot of cases, and in a lot of other cases they're just very low vibrational demonic entities in an animated flesh suit, which will deteriorate unless they can feed on original organic producers of energy. And because they're not able to feel, and because they are this AI augmented lack of a feeling system, we are malleable. We're constantly learning, constantly shifting, constantly evolving through our experiences. They feel that because we are malleable and they have proven that they can hijack our system, that they are the masters. And here is the competition. They say that they can drive us into toilet paper wars. And they do. They say that we lack the capacity to command our own presence. And in a lot of instances, this is true. Most people in this world are drinkers. They drink alcohol. Some just a little bit, and I feel drink more to escape whatever it is, right? But in doing that, then they join in with these other entities that have a good old time in the temple and party with them. So anyway, this is the competition. What did the curator call it? He called it, hold on, because this was interesting when I heard him say this. So, he called it, this competition, let me find it. The curator calls it the most highly created creature. This magistrate is an upper dimensional soprano, the daughter of God or a king, level 47, possibly greater. Now, after all the challenges she's overcome, she's malleable. She has evolved through centuries of torturous behavior. They still feel that because her mind is malleable and they have the technology and the capability to go in and drive a circumstance or a behavior, that they then are the most highly created creature. But that's false, because the one they project onto, the one they drive this mindset into, or this disturbance or error into, then recognizes it and then counters it and then evolves beyond it. And every time that they project this interference into our waters, our mind, then we counter it. We recognize it, hopefully sooner and sooner and sooner each time it occurs. And then we counter it after we have researched it and studied it, all of the little ins and outs, the little tidbits of the experience that can either determine us weak or strong, incapable or capable. And once we determine the research, then we counter it in the way that we best perceive, and then we kind of evolve through that situation. And then they come back and they do it again. Malleable, an error occurs, and then we recognize it, research the experience in all of its details, and then we counter it over and over and over again. They project failure. We learn from the experience and evolve through it. They want to say that because we are malleable and they have this ability to interject or inject some kind of a disturbance or something that is not part of our own plan, that therefore we're incapable of managing an authority position, because any old Joe Schmo throughout the multiverse can come in and inject an interference and affect the stability. Now, this happens. It's true. However, those of you who have risen like the phoenix and who have learned to command yourself through severe challenges and attempts to get you institutionalized and seen as severely unworthy, you have graduated up out of that. And even though, some of these things may still be occurring, as I mentioned, it is recognized, it is researched, and it is evolved through and then countered, or countered and evolved through. The organic original divine messaging system is the most highly created creature, because they can recognize an interference, they can study the interference, and then they can create solutions to counter that interference, divinely guided. These ones want to say that because we're malleable, and with this medicine in our temple, they have the opportunity with their technology to sabotage the Merkaba, which is the chariot, the light-bodied chariot of the temple, the flesh suit, and the spirit, and its connection to the upper dimensional Star Nation soul tribe. They say that because we are malleable, that we need to be disconnected because we're not stable. Well, evolution is not necessarily stable. It's not the same rubber stamp bullshit throughout centuries. Evolution is met with challenges, and then it does its research, and then it tries again until it evolves up and through the challenge. It's just a simple truth. We got a lot of folks out there that are trying to overcomplicate an organic evolutionary system by saying that because it's programmable from an outside source. that it isn't sufficient. Therein lies the argument for this competition over who is, what did he say? Gosh darn it, I lost it. Over who is the most highly created creature. That's the message.